How we doing today, folks? Welcome to Just Conversations. Today's episode, you're gonna cuss me out for. You're gonna say, Sharif, you don't do interviews. Well, today we're doing an interview slash conversation. Today we have Miss Ty Marie Delavallade Harris. Today she's gonna tell us a story about what happened to her family in Mississippi with a very famous person. But before we get into all that, I want to thank you for making the trip down here to Philadelphia. Thank you so much. Um, First, how was your trip getting down here?
It was pretty good.
Pretty
It was
good.
pretty good.
Um, just to give people a little insight of how our day been going because it's been a rough one.
It
Um,
has.
Usually we had this set up for a certain time and we got kind of caught up, but we're going to have all the time you need to tell us about this story. So, do you want to start at the day of 6/23/23, the day your family life changed?
That's fine.
Okay, so let's start right then. Let's tell the people what happened.
Well, I'm Ty, and my brother was by a close family friend, Ugly God, Royce Davidson, and it's it's a really hard pill. His we had no idea that there was all going. They had issues going on with amongst each other. So when I got the call, I live in Florida, and Gulfport, Biloxi, Mississippi is where we were raised, all of us. And my brother is married. His wife of 24, 25 years. He has 5 children there. So we're pretty close knit family. 6/29, 2023, about a little bit after 9, I got the call that my brother was shot. He was shot and he was dead on arrival. Um, I couldn't believe it when they told me that he was shot. There was all kind of rumors that he was shot. They kept saying his son. When we finally got down to it, he was shot by the Ugly God.
Okay.
Ugly God, as y'all know, is a famous rapper. Been in my brother's life for many, many years. His son and the Ugly God were very good friends, have been for many years. He's been at our family functions. He's been around. So he was just who he was to us, like family.
Okay, so let me just not to interrupt you. So let's go back a little bit. So this guy was ugly guy was actually a person of your family that came around, participated with you guys like in holidays, birthdays.
He did.
And down south you usually have like a unlocked door policy. So he was the type of guy that could just walk in. You guys were walking in and out of each other's
Yeah.
house. So it was like that type of relationship.
Absolutely.
And this was like all his life, like since he was born type thing, or since y'all moved to that area. He
Well, from about junior high,
from
since
about
so
junior high.
his kid, my brother's kids and him,
Okay, so your brother would be like an uncle to him, or
almost like
like
an
an
uncle.
Yeah, not by relation, but like
Yeah.
just by proximity.
Definitely. He
Okay.
was around that much. My brother took him to his first day of college. His son and his son were roommates through college. He was family.
So by this being family, I guess this kind of like driving a wedge between your family and his family type thing, or is it?
It hurts. It's hard to swallow, and you never know until you in that situation. I couldn't imagine this. My brother would have did anything for any of those kids, and the way it happened, and the way they portrayed him, and the facts that people don't know is what's so hurtful about the thing. As y'all know, it's a lot of different stories around it.
A lot of stories, yeah.
A
I see
lot.
people back on it and back up off of it. So I guess it's kind of it's a tight subject. Who was your brother? What is your brother like? Describe to me who your brother was.
My brother was fun loving, life of the party. Everybody loved him. He was a man's man. Like he didn't, he would say what it was, and he's just like any of us. He wasn't a perfect person, but he was good-hearted and would do anything for anybody, make you laugh to no end. He was the life of the party, and he loved his kids. He loved them kids unconditional, and with that being said, like I feel like he taught Ugly God a lot of the stuff that he know. He was in his life almost as a father figure, and for this to have went the way that it did. So to clarify, a lot of people don't know that my brother was living with Ugly God's mom, and
Okay. They were like in a relationship, or just living,
no,
just roommates.
the wife and two of the sons, they were roommates.
Wife and two of the sons. Okay.
So my brother has 4 sons. The 2 younger ones, 16 and 11, lived in the house, went to school from there, and so forth. So one of the sons is in the military, and another one just works locally.
Okay.
So my brother did live there, and from what I understand now, him and his wife was having problems, and they were separating. My brother was asked to leave after all this happened, and I found out that there was a lot going on with the kids and everything, that he had fights with his sons, like.
So, your brother had fights with his sons?
Yeah.
Okay, so your brother, so it was kind of a environment, or maybe a household where people were kind of intense. It was a lot going on.
It definitely was.
Okay.
The night that before my brother got killed, he was in an argument with Ugly God, and 2 of the sons was there. The mama was there. Ugly God's mom, and my brother's wife was there.
Now, were they friends, or they she just happened to be there that night?
Who?
The two women.
They lived there.
Okay.
They all live at this residence.
So they all lived at this residence.
Yes.
I mean, I thought you just said the ones. Okay, 2 women there, 2 sons, and the Ugly Guy just come back and forth.
In and out of town.
In and out of town.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So
it was a little friction.
It was a lot of friction.
A lot of friction.
I learned a lot of it afterwards. Okay. So apparently my brother was telling everybody, and like these people have written statements, that he was telling people that they was trying to kill him. And I think he was saying it in a way almost like a cry for help by telling people, but it was like he was crying to the wrong people, because he never told me that. And I'm not gonna make up something, he didn't. But he did tell a lot of people that's documented that they was trying to kill him, and that they was having problems, and he wanted to leave, and he was leading up to leaving.
Okay.
So the day that he decided to leave, he got all his things the night before.
So the day he's packing up to leave this environment that everybody's not getting along in is the
Absolutely.
day?
No.
Okay.
The night before.
The night before, okay.
Which would have been.
So by that morning, though, he would have been pretty much leaving.
He was gone. He left that night.
Okay, he left that night.
And the children is what, he was on the phone with someone 9 minutes before it. And he told them that Ugly God came to town to kind of do an eviction for his mom, because he doesn't own the house. It was kind of like.
Oh, so Ugly God was coming to put him out?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
A forceful eviction.
Absolutely. But my brother left.
Illegal. I mean, it's illegal most places.
Like it is. It is there.
Sure you can't even do it. So go ahead.
It is, but when there's friction in the house, you don't want to stay there.
Yeah, definitely get out of there. Okay.
So he left. He was gone the night before. There was a big argument, a shoving match that was witnessed by several people in the neighborhood, and he left. The next morning, the young son called him back and said, he's putting us out. We don't have anywhere to go.
Oh, so the other guy decided to put them out also?
Yeah, all of them. He was going to put them all out, the mama. And so my brother was saying he wasn't going to go back over there. And he did. The boy, his son called him. He was trying to go get the son, because he had got all his stuff the night before. He had no reason to be back over there. And when he pulled, now he'd been living in this house for 2 years. So you would think he would pull in the driveway and go head on to the door if he didn't feel something. This particular day, he pulled on the street, like sideways on the street.
Okay,
Never got out of his car. Never got out. So when he got there, he sent a text for the boy to come outside, the young son. Royce came outside. And he sat in his car, and Roy stood on the curb, and they talked for a couple of minutes. And then the mother came outside a little bit after that.
Ugly Guy's mom?
Ugly Guy's mom.
Okay.
And the argument got intense.
More intense, okay.
We couldn't hear what they were saying, but the argument, the body language. So and you couldn't see very much in the car. So we don't know what they was arguing about. It was supposed to have been about his mom. Now, I don't allege, because I wasn't there. My brother said that she was causing a lot of friction in the house. between everybody.
Mom,
Ugly guy's mom.
Okay.
And he pretty much, the argument went on for a couple of minutes. When the mom came out there, she was standing right there when he pulled the gun out and shot my brother 4 times. My brother he never moved.
So was your brother armed?
My brother carries a weapon and is licensed and has a permit for it, and they know that very clearly. And he didn't have he had his weapon, but it wasn't on him, and it wasn't ready to fire.
It wasn't brandished out or nothing like that. It was just,
It wasn't out. It wasn't ready to fire.
Okay. And ugly guy. Okay, so then they started shooting. How has something like this been affecting your family since this has happened? Like, what is, like, how are you guys like getting through this? Because your brother seemed like he was a cornerstone for the family. So.
He was. It's very hurtful because the stories that they saying just, like, didn't make any sense. When we started digging, I only initially, after this happened, we really just thought that, okay, they got into it and it got out of hand and he got shot. What really got us is when, after this happened, the wife never called none of us. She was there when he got shot. One of the sons was there, watched the whole thing through the window. The mother, this boy is 17, the mother wouldn't let him come outside when, he was going outside to see my brother for whatever reason. I don't know why. If there's an altercation, unless you know something's gonna happen,
okay.
Why would you stop a 17-year-old? I have a 17-year-old. My husband getting into something and he's trying to stop him, I'm not gonna say stay inside. So I initially started talking on social media because no one was saying that ugly guy admitted to it.
So what do you think? So it was like the law enforcement was like dragging their feet. And why do you think they were dragging their feet?
Well, he stayed on the scene, so it's not a question if he done it or not. Okay. He said it was him, self-defense. And usually in a case like this, let me drink some water. Usually in a case like this, they investigate very thoroughly. But you think about it. If you come to the scene and someone was shot and the wife tells you, well, it was an argument, and I don't know. If you're a cop, you're going to think, well, if the wife's saying this, then...
Yeah, but the argument don't constitute anybody getting shot.
Absolutely.
It has to be a threat of somebody losing their life.
Absolutely.
So nobody has made mention of somebody about to lose their life, life in danger? Nobody.
Well, I said no, and I say that because when we asked the police why was he released, their main thing was because of the wife's statement.
Because of the one person statement?
Yes. They collaborated. That's what they said. The statements collaborated.
Okay.
So anyway, I was not even like mad with him or anything, mad with my nephews or nothing like that. When I started putting it out, more and more stuff started coming out. Like my nephews, they went to the funeral. We was really close to them. The wife never said anything to us. She went against us on everything we tried to do, like help with the funeral and all of that. So we kind of had to walk on eggshells to be able to attend our brother's funeral.
His wife?
His wife. We still haven't had a conversation with her.
So because she was the one that was married, she was kind of able to plan everything, and she had the power because
she was. And so when I started putting it on social media, all this backlash started coming back.
Towards you, or people just telling you stuff
me,
that you didn't know?
And people telling me stuff that I didn't know. Like my brother was telling them that she was trying to kill him, that he had a fight with his sons, a physical fight with his sons, and that his sons was mad with him about the relationship with him and his mom. So, yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, I guess they domestic.
Okay.
When you're an older son, you don't want to see...
You don't want to see your dad and your mom fighting, so they...
Absolutely.
Okay.
But to clarify, my brother Didn't have nothing on his record.
No
People be
domestic violence, none of that stuff.
no, he had his record was clean at this time. He was getting ready to go offshore and work. All his stuff was ran and everything. And I never in a million years would have thought that he would have did this. So when we started getting more and more into it, like the stuff the son was telling us, it didn't make sense. Like he talked to him after it happened the day after, and he was like, my daddy wouldn't leave him alone. You know, like, what are you talking about? Your daddy
Also,
wouldn't.
he like it should have had done it. Like it's funny because like in Philadelphia, like something like that happened, like it's kind of a long investigation, especially when there's like big people in it. You know what I mean? Those famous people, whatever. Usually something like that will be dragged through the papers, front page, and all that stuff. So how was the media treated in Mississippi? How they treat this story?
The media was hiding it until I started talking.
Oh wow.
They never released his name. It's all over the news. They never said who, even though he had admitted to doing it, he's an adult. They never admitted his name. They never acknowledged that it was him, never put his picture on the news. If I had to tell you, my brother's body was still on the ground when he was released.
For real? Jeez.
Yeah, he didn't stay a night in jail.
Not even a night.
Not even a
one
night.
day.
Not even a night. And all of this stuff was making us wonder more and more. He does have an uncle. Everybody asks about the judge. He does have an uncle that's a judge in the community. He was on the bench at the time of the murder.
Okay.
If you ask me, my opinion, the truth is two different things. Now, in that sense, I think that...
So in your opinion, what do you think might have happened?
I think the judge used some of his favors. And I think that the things that he said, that he knew he was going to do this before he done it, you know, the way he stated, what he stated after he done it, put the gun down, waited on the police, and, you know, you can tell that he had thought it through.
I mean, that's wild because this is a guy that he helped raise.
He helped raise him.
Take him to college and everything.
He did. And
so the sons, are they still cool? So they're still kind of good with him now?
yeah, and if you listen to what he says, like, he never, he said, one of his comments on Facebook was, he's very active on social media. A couple minutes after he killed my brother, he posted on Twitter and said, whole time I'm a bored ape. And I'm just gonna be honest with you, my brother probably called him a bored ape. That's the kind of personality he had. If they was arguing, I can see my brother saying, you just a bored ape, I'm leaving. You know, because why would he say that? You know, after you just kill somebody, you got time to go and say this. So he probably said, get out of our business, you just a bored ape, you got nothing better to do. And I think it probably triggered something, you know. He's had social issues in the past that I didn't even know about, because I never thought about it. He was just a kid to me at all. Listen, I don't even think, like, I had 2 conversations with him, and we've been in the same rooms, because he was like one of the young kids. You know, I have kids his age, my kids, and I never had anything against him, and I think that him getting caught up in this was planned, like some of the stuff that was said before. Like, we never knew about the fight. We never knew that he was telling the son, okay, your daddy messing with me, and the son saying, okay, well, do what you need to do. You know, like, some things you don't say, no matter what.
About your parent. Yeah, never that about your parent.
And let me tell you this, the type of person my brother was, he had no idea. He didn't think for a New York second that,
something like that
he would be the one to do him something like that. And there's no way. But he knew something, because I can't see him living there for 2 years and pulling up, not getting out. So the argument the night before, there was a lot of threats, and people heard him saying, come back here, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And he didn't get out the car. That's what shocked me. Like, my brother, the type, he went to the door and got his kid. So, you know, with that being said, and 4 shots to the upper face, self-defense, sitting in the car, you know, like, I just feel like when you sitting in the car, you got so many other options. Like, you could run, you can move. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there, but I do know that he was saying that my brother was threatening him And then there was this big rumor that he was threatening his mom, and she wasn't there for half of the time, but she definitely instigated it, was definitely instigated. So,
And his mom would be at your guys' events also? The mom, or
no,
was
she
the
never
friend of
came
the-
around.
Okay.
She never came around. But for over the last 6 months, he was saying that the mom is, she's getting in our head. She's trying to turn my kids against me. She's trying to turn my wife against me. And I mean, like, it was complete. The thing that made me hurt the worst is that I didn't know. You know, when you get grown, you love your siblings, but you don't be
know
in
their
their
personal-
lifestyle.
yeah, you don't
You
know
don't
their
be in their
personal stuff.
personal space.
Yeah.
But I know that he didn't have a chance. As you know, he hit another car
Yeah,
when
I
he
seen
was.
I seen the news report.
Yeah.
And
So the sons have not said anything
on behalf of their father.
on social media, and Ugly Guy made the statement. True fact told him that why do y'all think the immediate family is not saying anything? I'm immediate family. We have the same biological mom and dad. So he met the kids, and they haven't said anything. Not one word.
Are they still at their house?
No.
Okay.
The day my brother, after his funeral, the mom left and never been back to town
With the 2 kids.
with the military son.
Okay.
It took the 2 young ones with him.
Okay.
And so when we start asking the kids about why they wasn't saying anything, it was just getting weirder and weirder. Like, then it was coming out a little bit at a time. Okay, yeah, there was an issue. Ugly Guy came home to put him out, and, you know, one of the sons told my brother, I can't do nothing to help you now. This was after the fight and before he was murdered. So in
between that time.
Yeah.
And when I seen the news report, it was like the daylight when all this like.
It was 11 o'clock in the daytime in a pretty suburban neighborhood. They had 5 people saw outside.
So nobody had this on camera. There's no footage, anything of this.
There's definitely footage.
Okay.
There's definitely footage, and
has the footage been? Has the township got the footage, like the detectives and stuff? As they have seen the footage?
Yeah. Okay. The footage is collected.
And currently, right now, is just still. They're still just going through the process, weeding out to see what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it just gets crazier and crazier. As you probably seen, he posts with a lot of money.
Yeah, I seen a post and he said, like, people in my family, my friends changed on me, something like that. He had money out. I don't know what he was talking about. Maybe he was talking about that event. Not really sure.
Well, it's alleged that there's a big life policy, over $500,000, and that him and, I'm just gonna say it, him and the wife and the son. And listen, I love my nephews. You can look at them and you can tell they're my nephews. You know that. And I wouldn't put this through anybody. I wouldn't want anyone to go through this. But they all was acting strange, and he was the one making us know they was acting strange because we was on him. So he made a statement. The wife made a post, and he posted and said, "Tell them people the truth so they'll get off of me." It's all documented. That he told her that. So the son started getting irate with us, like, okay, you know, like, this is how it is. We're not gonna say nothing to him right now. Whole time, he was leading us on to make us think that he wasn't talking to him. He was in communications with him.
Okay.
So they pulled all the messages now from
all phones.
From the 2 sons, the 48 hours before, the son and the best friend, before all this happened. Very graphic details before it happened.
Oh.
So they knew, they had a conversation about it. I feel like he asked for permission to kill his daddy. Instead of him saying, okay, one of them was, okay, call the police, but in the same sentence, protect yourself. Do what you got to do. I can't fathom the thought of it.
This is a father. This is a son talking about a father, and this father was a protector. Looked out for him, made sure he was straight all his life.
no matter what, been there for 20 years with all his kids, with the wife. Even when he wanted to leave, he didn't. He been in the house with them the whole entire time. She didn't come. She distanced herself more and more. She stopped coming to family events. She never said nothing to us. That is what made us really investigate the sons. That people didn't know they was already looking at them. We hired private investigators, lawyers ourselves, and we found out that, like a lot of stuff he's saying was like, he never owned that house. It was a rental house, but there was 10 lease on it in 1 year, 2 years. So his mom was renting rooms at the house.
Oh.
And the stuff that would lead us to Ugly God, the little things the sons could have did to help, they was covenant, like, no, we're not going to mess with him right now. We're not going to say nothing to him. But when the son came to town, he got us together, and he told us that he talked to him. It was 5 of us, my 2 sisters and my other brother, all biological. He came and told us that I talked to Royce, and this is what happened.
And the story that he gave you when he said that
is
that an accurate story that he gave you, or it was kind of a doctored story?
It was kind of doctored, because he told us that his exact words was, okay, y'all, let me tell you this. This is what happened. He said, I came to town and I went to talk to him, and I told him, come out or I'm coming in. That's what my nephew said he told to Royce at his grandma's house. He said Royce came outside, got in the truck, and he said, this is how my nephew's telling us. He's crying so hard, crying. And
Royce is crying?
That's what my nephew said. And he was like, my daddy pulled up. They got into it the day before, and my daddy pulled up, and daddy's sitting in the car, and Royce is standing at the door, and they're arguing back and forth. And he said, Royce said, my brother had a gun on him. He said he was pointing the gun at him like this. Now keep in mind, he's sitting in a Nissan Sentra, an old one, very low to the ground.
The one that got killed in.
The one that got killed in.
Okay.
So if you're standing over it, my brother is 5'9" anyway.
Yeah.
So he's telling us that Royce is standing at the driver's window, and that my brother's pointing the gun at him like this. Why they talking? The footage shows them talking in a normal tone. We just can't hear the words.
Yeah, if he had a gun like that, you ain't getting 4 headshots off of somebody.
This is
the prior.
Yeah. No, this is the
night
day
when
of the
they all
murder.
happened. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he said that they talked for a while, and when they got into an argument, my nephew never told us the mama was standing there. The footage did. When they got into an argument, he said when Royce got the chance or got the ups, that he reached in his pocket and pulled and fired. And he said he was crying so hard he couldn't even tell me. So he was selling us on
His version, this version of.
He kept saying, y'all know how my daddy is. All through the conversation. You know how my daddy is. So it was me, him, his mom, my sister, my brother, and my other sister. We did a candlelight the next day for him. So the mother still had never talked to us, told us nothing. So she went into a rage. Like the thing was, if the family got something we want to ask, this was the time to do it. Mm-hmm. So I asked her straight up. I said, I heard you had a life policy on my brother, a big one. Did you? She went ballistic, hitting the car with her hands, ready to fight, ready to go. They had a restrainer and everything. And she was like, no, I work for an insurance company. She never answered the life insurance question. She yelled at us and said, I work for an insurance company. Mm-hmm. Several people heard it. After that, it was an event my sister planned. I left because I saw where it was going. I left my own brother's event. And she just walked around like it was nothing. There was several questions asked at the time. How was she still laying in the house and all kind of stuff? Because after my brothers died, she still went back in their house and stayed the night and whatever she needed to do. Me personally, whatever was in there would have stayed in there.
Yeah, I never went back. Yeah.
Never. My brother's, you know, my husband got killed right here for whatever reason. They have footage of at the scene when my brother's dead and people's coming by, her saying, you just can't do that. You can't argue with everybody. So in other words, she was saying, my brother was arguing and kind of bullying him. And you can't do that to everybody. And she said these things, and this is a fact. So the son said that as soon as Royce got the ups, back to when he shot him, as soon as he got the ups, so he reached in his pocket, because he didn't have a gun visible. I say, so you mean to tell me my brother was holding the gun on him and in his hand, and he was able to reach in his gun,
pull it out, and shoot.
He didn't have to cock it. It was already cocked. He was, he shot him, and my brother never got a shot off, not even one.
So, you guys seen it? Have you seen the video yet? I know you haven't seen the video.
I have seen some of the video.
And did the video go anything like what he said? From what you saw?
He left out that the mama was there, and that the 17-year-old watched it from the window. He ran outside, put his daddy car in park, and was consoling his daddy. The mama was still walking around. If you look at the video, those babies are full of blood, and he was like in shock. The mama, no.
And so the 17-year-old came out and did that. And what did the other son do that was standing right there? He didn't do anything. He just.
He's 11.
I'm sorry. The one that was in the window.
The 17-year-old.
17-year-old. But who was standing outside when that actually happened?
His mama.
And who else?
And
him.
Royce.
Just the mom, Royce, and your brother was in the car.
My brother. But I know that people saying a lot of things about me, and I'm straight up. I don't know how to fake and whatever they saying. What I tell you is the facts. My brother or not, I'm gonna tell you the facts. You know, like that it was almost like he knew he had to make sure my brother was dead. Like somebody had told him, make sure you kill him. 4 shots to the face. So
yes, that's quite.
So, and the shots was like, you know, a big thing was he was in drive.
So like he was leaving.
Because but if he had a gun right here.
Yeah, why did he even drive?
And when you get a shot off, or when you see somebody doing all this, if he had to pull, because the gun wasn't visible. And it's just hurtful because I just feel like he knew after it started that in my mind, I know that he knew after it started what was happening. He tried to match the gas.
He tried to go.
Pioneer Elite Care is committed to treating each individual with dignity and respect. We take pride in providing quality care to those who require assistance at home. Contact us now.
Excellence is our standard. Excellence is the rule. Never the exception.
PioneerEliteCare.com.
Okay, so right now I want to bring in Tammy Delavallade Bloomingburg. So I want to thank you for coming out and supporting your family. I want to say I support your family. I like what your family's doing. The fact that all y'all came down and as a unit for this. I come from a pretty big family. I have not experienced losing one of my siblings. That probably be kind of messed up for me to even experience. So again, thank you for coming down. So how has it been for your family just to deal with this hole that's left? Like, I'm quite sure it's something.
It's been, if I could say, breathtaking. It has impacted the family, my siblings, my aunt, my uncles. We have a big family. My mother comes from a family from 15 kids.
Okay.
One family with 15 kids.
And he would be your brother also?
He's my baby brother.
Your baby brother.
And I never in a million years would have imagined burying him. And not only burying him, having a closed casket.
Because
So the
okay,
la-
I didn't want to ask that, but when you said 4 shots to the face,
Yeah, but they tried to, his part of the family tried their hardest to have the casket open.
She,
You know, well, she
his wife wanted an open casket. Why, we don't know.
yeah,
it was that last
It
shot
was-
at my brother, we feel.
And
oh, okay,
Yeah.
so they were like in a business relationship at this point. They was married, but not
Yeah,
really.
it was domestic, both sides.
Yeah,
She was,
it's a relationship that ran its course.
yes,
Just happened
and
to
it
be
was,
together,
it was,
yeah.
yes, exactly.
Okay, so what is it like? So now at this point, your family trying to move on. You're waiting for this. You're waiting for the people of Mississippi to do due diligence. The frustration has got to be like at like 1,000.
It's really been frustrating. I live in Texas.
Okay.
I've been backwards and forth, flying in, driving in. I've had health issues before. They're worse now because of this.
Stress.
It's very stressful. It's been stressful on my family, the whole family. I think we really could have accepted if my brother would have died in a car accident.
Something that seemed more natural.
Yes, a
Something
natural
like-
cause.
Like some not natural, just something that just nobody, no foul play.
Yes.
Just if he would have died, and then that was if it was his time, then let it be like that. But not nobody rushing him.
It's really been hard because this, I'm gonna say, has taken so many different turns.
it has.
It's baffled us.
And you guys are about 6 months in now. It's like
Right, 6 months.
Yes.
Like the 6 month point.
And there's just a lot around it, and more come out.
Not to like, if you think if this guy wasn't famous, if your brother had been white, you think this would have been rushed so much? This would have been treated so much different, so much.
Yes,
And so it's like almost like you're watching somebody treat somebody you love. Like
Yes.
they're not a person.
And on top of that, he taunts us. He taunts us on social media. He brags about having money and the things he say. Like we know that they're directed to us, and it's like,
So, not go ahead. Finish.
go ahead. No,
No, because there's going to be somebody who's watching this now. This generation of younger people who really don't know how to feel and even understand this type of stuff. So they see murder and they equate it to like video games and stuff like that. So somebody with a smart mouth is going to say, well, why are you on social media? What are you doing on it?
yeah, absolutely.
So when somebody comes with an irritating, ignorant comment like that, what would be your response to somebody who's saying that? I mean, I got to have idea why you.
we want justice.
Yes.
That is
It's
the
how you
only
keep his
thing.
name alive.
Absolutely.
I'm not a social media person, and I came for support for my sister today, and I said whatever it takes. She do social media, and the family supports her. But I'm not a
She's not really
social.
social media person.
No,
either.
no, she's
trying. She's like,
yeah, she's
learning on the
trying.
job.
She's trying, but that's her way of getting it out there that who done this, why they did it, and it was almost like the family felt it was a cover up. The more things that we found out about it, we felt like it was a cover up, all the way from down from the city of Gulfport. I'm
Yeah.
say it on camera. The city of Gulfport. We felt that way. We've had many meetings with the chief of police because this is all new for us. We didn't know what to do, where to go, who to turn to. I have a
So you're
book
not
of
like
notes.
a family who got like boys that been in and out of prison all their life.
Oh.
Y'all don't have that type of family.
No.
Your family is just some regular, hardworking, regular people.
Yes, I retired Army National Guard, and
You get
my
that for the
father
house.
was.
That's a nice check in the whole
Mhm.
It's like, no, go ahead.
Well, you
to
know
next
the
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I have 6 kids. They're all 5 years apart. Yeah, 5 years.
Yeah.
But I have 6 kids and no background of
Any type of shenanigans.
any type. I mean, so
Yeah, I
much
mean-
as a wreck, maybe.
But I can understand what you're saying, like coming down, because I was in a coma before and took my whole family. We live in Philadelphia, so my whole family had to fly down to Florida, and for 45 days I was in coma. So the financial strain that put, like you 45 days, people think it's not a lot, but 45 days in a hotel,
It's a
eating,
lot.
all that stuff adds up. So I can imagine what the bills are like because you got to come down, you got to make these meetings and the stress. You know what I mean? So I can really understand now. My brothers and sisters and my mother and father had to go through that. I was in a coma. I was asleep the whole time, but
We were close. We
yeah.
all grew up with together in one household, one mother. I mean, our mother and father together
Mhm.
until we got older. But we all grew up together, and
Close-knit.
it was a close knit family. And I I moved away after my mom passed and moved to Texas 10 years. But I it I just it's never a day that I don't think about it. It's something that happens. I was talking the other day, and I said something that he would say, and we all looked at each other and
It
said,
sounded like him.
it sounded like him. But I didn't think about it till I said it. So it's not a day that goes by that we don't think, and it's not a day that goes by that I don't think about him. And I want justice. Whatever they reveal, whatever they say that they feel that they should say, the results. If we're not satisfied with it, I'm working on myself right now to be able to say, fight harder, go back at it, or either just leave it in the hands of God.
I was gonna say you're spiritual people, correct?
It's so stressful.
And what I have learned, sometimes when things don't go like when you did your best, but things like for a situation like this, sometimes you got to step back from it and let God handle it, and you'll be surprised because I've known people in the streets that have done some of the most heinous things I ever heard of, never been convicted, never anything, but it was just that one night with one person who was way weaker than them, but the conversation went the wrong way, and this little guy took out this big guy, and it happened a couple times in my lifetime where I actually I'm not gonna say witness it, but I was around it. And it's sometimes where it just may be, or the guy who got away with all this stuff, his kid that he put all this money into and loved and flourished with all this stuff, gets killed.
Yeah.
As he, because sometimes
It happens that way.
the world gonna get you back more than that sentence. Getting sentenced for something you did is the easy part. When the world make you pay back for it,
Yes,
it's gonna be different.
you're right.
And you're gonna pay a bigger price. You're gonna pay a bigger price. So I would say that to you because you said, it's messing with your health. Be careful because you still got life to live.
Yes.
You said you got 6 kids,
I
5
have
months
a
apart.
14-year-old that's
Yeah.
into basketball. He
Yeah.
had a game today too, so
Oh, I'm sorry. about that.
that's okay because my priorities right now is for justice.
And it's very difficult. I want to say this, as y'all know, I'm not a social. I'm in my 40s. I have 3 grown kids. My last one is 16. I have a 14-year-old. I mean a 16-year-old, 11th grader. This is supposed to be my best time. I work in nuclear power. I do contracts. So I'm comfortable where I'm at. So I didn't have a problem. Go look at my little page. I spell words wrong. I be in there with my look. I'm just a human. I'm natural. Everything. I'm not a social media person, so I have a lot of bloopers. They tease me a lot.
You ain't got
auntie
more than me. You saw how I did with the names.
the auntie can't
Blooper
can't
king.
spell, and if y'all heard DJ Academics,
Mhm.
y'all know that he talked about me.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Did he?
What did he say?
Yeah, he said
Well, he called
the
us country.
Called you a hillbilly?
country.
Yeah.
We don't have plains in Mississippi, and the lady he read like I'm old school. So when I was telling my brother's story, I was doing it like in the third person in my mind.
That's fine.
So he read some of the stuff I said, and he made it seem like I couldn't read like the
But
this
see,
that.
but see, grammar has nothing to do with right or wrong, or guilty or not guilty. So people can highlight the things that again they're younger people. So we can make all the little funny things and flag and make a distraction to the facts.
Exactly.
The facts is that for a guy that you guys kind of grew up with, a guy y'all kind of raised or grew up around your family, and your brother had altercation, your brother's dead. Somewhere near the action and there happened. So whether you misspelled something or wrote something wrong, that's not the important part. That's a grammatical error. Who cares about that? The fact is that something as definite as death happened. So they shouldn't be playing with it. It's not even some shit that anybody should be playing with.
Yeah, he's made many jokes, and it's been hard to accept it and hear it sometimes. And there's many times that I've cried behind him, on the plane coming here by myself crying. But I know that, I had a weather advisor. I said, "Oh Lord, just give me the strength." This is
The
my
weather advisor
first
coming
time.
here?
My
Mhm.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Well,
I flew in Sunday.
Sunday.
Oh,
She
yeah.
got here before
Oh,
me.
you came when the big rain came.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yes.
got you.
Yes.
Yeah, you definitely was a rise. Yeah,
Yeah, and then in that plane,
yeah, little
Lord.
turbulence.
I've had a lot of death threats.
Oh yeah.
Hmm. I've had
So it's like from his, I guess, maybe his
fans
people.
and people that know him.
Family.
I mean, I've heard people go on there and say things about me I never knew. I've never heard. Like
So just to rewind back to the DJ Academics part, he's like a friend to him.
good friend.
So he's a good friend. It's funny because like the big thing came out with Puff Daddy. I want to say this week, right?
Hmm.
Well, maybe the last 2 weeks. And DJ Academics got down on Joe Buttons
Hmm.
for not going at Puff Daddy because and Joe said because of my relationship with Puff Daddy, I'm not really touching it.
Hmm.
So he said, no, you guys touch everything, but here is something that I'm not saying which is all heinous. Everything is heinous, but is extremely bad.
Hmm.
And so he didn't even take y'all even serious, and he never even went to comment on the fact that his friend may have had something to do with such a heinous crime.
He advised him to shut up. Was his exact
was
words.
giving him
He was giving him
legal
advice.
advice.
Oh, he
Legal
became an
advice.
attorney.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he made it like I was trying to, the family, my sister and them don't go on there. So I'm the only one that would even say something about him. But I thought he was like a human being, that he would listen to both sides. I don't want you to take my side. I just want the facts out there. But even off the top, I'm not a celebrity. I don't even know why he came for me. I never said anything to him until he came for me. So he said, I'm biased. He told me straight up, other guy's my friend in this thing. I don't want to, I'm biased in this. Which to me, you in the light.
You in the media, that's kind of dangerous.
Yeah,
You better
he did.
just not making a comment at all. At the
He
mess.
did. Then he made jokes. He had him on the show. And
He had him on the show since the
since
murder.
then, talking about video games and talking about, like if you go, the show was, they was talking about my brother and talking about, I'm doing a show in Philly. Come on out there on the September the 8th or something. He invited him to the show. So it was almost like he was making jokes um, about it. And I mean, like, I don't want to argue with him. I don't know him. I just wanted the facts to be out there. I didn't, believe me, I don't want to do this in my 40s. I want to not be in the limelight.
Yeah.
I don't want people to threaten me. I don't want to have to do the things that I've done, to get my brother's case noticed. But it was the drastic measures I had to take between him having the connections that he had downtown in our little bitty city.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you had to take it to the people.
I had to. And I'm appreciative for the people that listen to us. Yes. And I'm appreciative to people like, I would never thought that even way up here in Philadelphia that you would know and hear this story and take it serious, because I felt like they just pushed my brother under the rug because it was a partial celebrity, a celebrity that done it. And the facts is there. I seen something.
A cover up.
A cover up. I posted, and this is a fact, a true fact. I posted when people was calling me a liar, I posted the police report. The actual report. You can write it down with his name in it. That is when people start taking it serious. So I heard some people saying the other day that it's a fake police report. That police report is real. You heard it from the horse's mouth. I walked in the police department myself and got it. I posted it straight from the police department. And it was true. My brother, for 3 weeks, no one knew it was him, because when the news media said it, they just kept.
They definitely didn't mention that. I
Suspect
watched it
in custody.
Yeah, they never mentioned that anything. And that's strange, because like I said, if it had been here, your name is plastered. Like, I mean, you get rappers around here that get caught in the mall with a gun and it gets plastered all over.
Even if you're guilty, you're innocent. I mean,
yeah, they're gonna say what you're charged with.
You're gonna get booked. You're gonna stay the night in jail. You're gonna be there getting questioned. Yeah. They have. He didn't, like I said, my brother's body was still there, and he was on Twitter instantly afterwards, tweeting, "This is what I did. This is this. This is that." And we had to hire a lot of people to even get the police reports and the facts.
Some of the things that we know now that we didn't know.
So it's almost like he was a kind of victim of, I'm not gonna say bad police work, maybe lackadaisical police work.
I would say bad police work.
I mean,
I can say that. You can't, but I can't.
Yeah, I wasn't there, and
That's my personal opinion. I lived there all my life. I've served on a jury. I am when I was living there, I served on grand jury, so I was a citizen, registered voter, and I served on grand jury several times in the city of Gulfport. So I can say that, and that's how I felt, from my personal opinion, that it was pushed over because of how it was done, who it was, but him having a person of power in that position. We had a family member in that court that day, what they don't know. And when they went there, it's on court cameras. When they went there, they pulled him out.
He got up and left.
He got up and left.
CCTV, yeah.
Yes. Oh, and we questioned it, and it was said, well, it's a standard for them to do that. But you didn't tell us that before. For an individual having a
Family
power
member.
and a family member
To refrain itself from.
Yes. So I mean, my sister was telling some things, and I heard some things over there. I wanted to add to it, but we had a family member in court that day that called us and told us, "Did ugly guy have to do this?" Because his uncle was just pulled off. They pulled him off the bench.
Wow. I mean, because y'all seem like y'all about 60 deep, so I'm quite sure y'all got
Oh, yeah. It's
filtrated.
a lot of us.
It is.
And we've talked and we decided we wanted everything done legal by the book. We want justice the right way. The fact that all that happened, I put myself in the officer's shoes. And although they dropped the ball, I'm just going to tell you, they dropped the ball. Okay. But in the same sentence, you thinking like it's a black on black crime in the state of Mississippi.
Yeah.
And
it's it's not that important.
it's not anyway.
Just another one killing.
To
Exactly.
close it, if you go to the scene and you ask the wife, okay, what happened? And the wife say, well, they was arguing and they both had guns and he shot him first. Then the officer probably said, well, if the wife, not looking at the history.
Yeah, because he's just looking at the wife.
Absolutely.
He's not knowing that this is a wife.
Absolutely.
This is about to be
The
an
state
ex-wife.
must collaborate, is
ex-wife.
what we was told.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
more of an ex-wife than a wife at this point. But he's just looking at the wife said this.
Yeah,
and that's what we're
so I
gonna do.
did give him that benefit. But with all the new details and the things, the way that it came out, and even threats from my nephews.
Did nephews threaten you?
My nephews have made deadly threats.
To you?
My family, me and other family members.
To people in the family?
Me and
But they the ones y'all don't know like where they live at no more. They like disappeared.
my nephews.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So the one that was hugging his dad that got all the blood on it though.
He was
He-
trying to stop the bleeding.
He's kind of like caught in between. Like he can't really talk to you because he got to like make a stance with his mom.
Well,
Absolutely.
he's 17, and when he turned 18, she has to
right
authorize
now, she
his
controls.
any questioning. She authorizes it and has to be present by his age.
I feel sorry for him. I really do.
And when is he 18?
Soon.
Soon. And it's very hard because you got your mama involved in here, your brother's
And
involved,
your dad's gone.
and your daddy gone. He was real close to his daddy. He
So he's probably dealing with something
a lot that
that's probably even
You
he probably can't even explain it in paper or words.
you could see it on his face.
Yeah.
You could see it on his face that the older ones.
It's kind of stuff.
Yeah, see, yeah. Sometimes the older ones they might have made a business decision, but he probably still loved his dad, so he's probably caught in between. And I don't know, I can't say.
No, you're right though. You're right. I mean, I know you can't, but you're absolutely right. Like at the funeral afterwards, she didn't want to have a funeral. She just, we big on that Mississippi. We second line, we believe in, showing our love for our family members. So she allowed us because she's the wife, allowed us to have
repast,
because it would have been so out of the ordinary for her to say no that she knew, but she wasn't involved, wasn't invited. We had security and everything there. By this time, everything is getting tense. And the boy, go ahead.
No, but actually, how long did it take him to get in the ground from the time he died?
Oh,
A month, because he had to have
yeah,
autopsy.
Because that sound kind
His-
of. I just listened to what you just said. You said
November the 13th.
November 13th was when he got in the ground.
Is
I'm not
No,
November
that's
13th. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Jesus.
Um,
that just happened.
last week.
It was I'll never forget the day.
August 13th?
July.
July 13th.
My birthday was that month. So
Don't worry about it.
I am.
And it was just like, it was the weirdest thing. Like, she still never came to us all this time. And like, we made shirts. We did what was comforting to us. We didn't ask her for nothing. We offered to help pay for the funeral, whatever the cost was. We called to pay it. We didn't know the situation. We didn't care. We was just wanted our brother in the ground.
Yes.
She was making statements about the shirts and the monuments of the memorial. But at the repast, that boy, he was there, loving and hugging, because at this time we didn't know the two older sons had something to do with it. But he would never let
Allegedly.
well,
Allegedly.
allege, like, they never let us talk to him. This is a
By
fact.
itself.
They didn't let you. They was cornered and like,
Make sure they didn't leave. He didn't leave.
make sure,
Right.
absolutely.
Sleep and talk.
And why would you try to hide something? And like, you 17, you saw the whole thing. You saw your dad get murdered. You never.
So how old are the other two sons?
27 and 26.
27, 26?
Yeah, they 1 year apart. They grown.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the baby, of course, is 11.
No, just
But he
12.
saw they say he was asleep during the murder, but he saw the body, came out, saw the body.
So
And-
11-year-old, 17-year-old. They're the ones that was in the house
Mm-hmm.
when he had it.
Mhm,
Yeah.
26-year-old, 27-year-old. They weren't there when that happened.
mhm.
They
The
knew.
the oldest one came to the scene,
Came to the
and
scene.
that's how it was confusing to us.
Gotcha.
I went to Harris County Jail, waited several hours to get him out. When I flew in, I didn't know at the time who had killed my brother because they had no bond set for him. And he was at the scene, and they said that he was seeing his dad deceased and the horrific scene, and people were taking pictures of him, so he lost it. So they detained him.
The 27-year-old.
Yes, he's his oldest son. They detained him, but I didn't know who had did it. Like my sister was saying, we didn't know who had did it or
We
what had
asked
happened.
that the son had killed.
Yeah, because he was in the back of the police car. If you walk up and the son's in the back of the police car,
Okay.
oh, he did it. He killed his dad, and that's what came back to us. But I went to the jail and waited. Me and my other sister, 4 or 5 hours, maybe 6 that
You know,
day.
it's just-
My
Yeah.
other sister. We waited there until we found out
What happened?
But
what had happened.
now we know that it was almost like it was staged, because they sat him in the car the
And wanted us to
entire
think that
time of the investigation,
him.
so people driving by would see my brother dead and his son in the car. So it looks like,
If it wasn't staged, it was a hell of a coincidence.
absolutely.
Yes.
But it's
Yes.
You know what I mean? Just because some people try to get like, how do they have time to stage this? And you don't even want them to start arguing.
You're right.
More points.
It was so many police cars there.
Yeah.
One of the neighbors there said he didn't know Gulfport Police Department had that many cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He told us
Wow.
that he didn't know that they had that many cars. It was 8. Was told at least 8 investigators there. But they said that they was around the corner. If you listen to the clip, the
next street, yeah.
yeah, they said that they were around the
They heard
corner,
the shots or something.
and then the
The
call
chief
came in.
of police
Said was around the
close
corner
to the
already.
scene and was there
Yeah,
very fast,
But we
within
just
a couple
found him,
minutes.
yeah.
But
If you go back, you'll listen to him say that statement.
yeah, he said it.
I'll check it out.
He
Yes.
was close.
Like I said, because it's like it's scattered. You'll see some stuff here, some stuff there. It's almost like somebody takes something down, somebody puts something back up. And as I was researching the story, like, wow, this is like it's like a hard thing to really get sink my teeth into, because it's like I'm going different directions.
But
So that's why I figured like have you on here, tell your side. You don't have to worry about nobody interrupting you.
Mhm.
Tell as much as you
I
can.
mean, I want y'all to know. I want you to know that there was a life policy involved. I think, this is my opinion, this is not facts. I think that the mother and my brother were separated. She worked for an insurance company. She saw an easy way out. Royce had been in the family long enough to know that there was domestic violence over the years. He'd seen some of the arguments he took up for her. He took up for her on many occasions. That versus one of my brother's sons doing it, that he was like the perfect candidate to come to town and there'd be an argument, that it was being gonna be swept under the rug, that my brother was a nobody. I think that they all got a big life policy. He since got out the military early, put in paperwork to get out early. Um, the wife left the day after. Who ups and leave? Like what?
Yeah, because I figured she was part of y'all family. She was pretty much like cool with y'all, right? For the murder?
No,
No.
she didn't come to family events.
Oh,
That had stopped.
Yeah,
they had stopped.
yes.
Yes.
So they really was like just cohabitate. They was married, but they were
They
really
were
just
staying together and kind of still together, and um,
He was there for his kids.
he was there for his kids. But I think once it got in her mind that she wanted to do this, that because self-defense, usually 1 or 2 shots to the head, that boy made sure that he was dead.
like
And
premeditated.
yeah, it was. And
It sounds like it.
he had to shoot him. He make sure he dead. And for them to be the sons to not say nothing, no matter what. If you 20 some years old, you're on social media, you're gonna say, hey, that brother killed my friend killed my dad. Or you're gonna speak for your dad at that time. I don't know if I could have went and spoke to the person that killed my daddy, friend or not, the next day.
Yeah, that was so
Yeah.
so permanent. So it's
Yeah.
something that
And to be
That's-
okay with it. And I mean, I think that they did it. I think it was like almost like a murder file. I think Royce got some of the money for doing it. I think they got a big life policy. They found some of it. They're looking for some more. It's supposed to be in the hundreds of thousands, close to 1 million. I think it was enough money to spread around. This is me.
Mhm.
I think it was enough money to spread around.
and we shall have some people who watching the saying, well, he's a big time rapper. He didn't need it, money got my and I mean
Has he ever posted before that date? If they go back and follow it. And another thing that we feel that I want to add, when my brother left the day before he took all his clothes, it was such a coincidence. We feel that he was lured back there.
by yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Because
That's
it was-
what we feel.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean
Because it's documented. He was on the phone with a close member to the family 10, maybe 15 minutes before we got the actual, before the actual killing had happened. So it was like he hung up, talked, argued, discussed whatever he did, and he was gone.
I'll say on Godfather 2, it's a movie Godfather 2, right? They had a brother there and he had the temple. And whenever he would do something, they knew how they could trigger him. So when the one guy they had a guy messing with his sister, beat the wife.
Mhm.
One day he was coming speeding down because he heard the guy beat his wife, and he's speeding down to the house when he got to the bridge to kill him.
Mhm.
Because when they knew what his when they know what your reaction
His triggers was his
And then-
kids.
yeah, the
When he
triggers,
tell
great.
him his
So-
kids, and he loved his kids.
So I could see
Yeah.
I could see where you guys are going with that correlation.
And that's what we truly feel, because it didn't make sense to us why he went back there. He had said this time he was finished, and he wasn't going to go back. And he knew that he shouldn't have been there. That's why he was on the street. He didn't want to be there. He went back to check on his kids.
They called me back. They called me back. And after all of this, I just wanted people to know other guy did this when I first started posting that. He did this because the media would not say it. I called the news department.
Yeah.
I called
Emails.
I emailed them, and they would not say his name. They really, that police report was 3 sentences.
And she waited. I was on the phone with her for about 30 minutes for that.
Yes.
It
So-
was like they went back and typed it up.
Yeah. And that's a long time afterwards, but it's a lot of details that says that the kids are involved. I said it, and a lot of people I don't want to say that about my nephews. We was all fun until after, because they played this role. I feel like they lured us. She took one of them home with her. She was trying to help, because this is our nephews, and they was making us feel like he did this, we don't like him. And they never said nothing, like they never defended me on social media. Like if you know you don't have nothing to do with it, say, I don't know what's going on. I mean, like, you don't need a lawyer to say that I didn't help kill my dad, but it was all of this stuff was uncharacteristic of my brother to pull up and do the things they say he did.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, anybody that's got a half a brain, or that doesn't make sense. Like if I got a gun in my hand and I'm talking to you, you don't have a chance.
We just want justice. Whoever's involved in it, all parties, we want justice for him. And I want to say we're gonna keep fighting as long as we can for justice for him. We would like to see him, somebody, justice for him. That's what I'll say. Somebody, whoever's involved. I, I just, I just want to see justice.
You know, this interview today has been breathtaking. It's a lot of things that was never put up on the internet, and a lot of stuff you guys kind of told me today I never knew nothing about. Again, I want to thank you for coming out here. I hope your family gets the justice that they deserve. Um, but anything you want to say to your family, we can start with you from the close out. Just
Yes, I just want to say, yeah, we know it's been hard, but in the end, I feel that we will get justice, and just keep the prayers coming, keep them coming for the whole family. And I know it's hurting, I know it is, but just keep the prayers coming for us, family, the seen and unseen family. Just keep the prayers coming for us.
Well, I guess just pray for us because I have a different heart now from what I used to have. Um, I don't have a crying heart anymore because I know now that my brother was probably by his kids and wife. That's my opinion. That's my allege. He was in cold blood. He was shot 4 times to the face. I mean, we haven't had, no one's been convicted of it. No one spent a day in jail for it. It's kind of hard to be sad and cry. So every time I think about crying, I think about I have to be strong for him. And this fight is not mine. It's for everybody. We have family of just because you don't see them online, they're there. And anytime that we can show up for him, we will. And we just pray that they find out what they need to find out to get this done because this is very hurtful. I'll never heal from this hurt. Never. So this is something that'll go through the rest of my life with me. And it's made me a different person.
It is a hole in your heart. It is a hole. And me being the oldest sister, I don't know if it just affects me different, but it's like a hole in your heart from never imagining burying my baby brother. It hurts.
Mm.
I know you don't need a tough guy, but that's okay. You know, that's grief. We all got to grieve out of our lives.
Yep.
And like I said, I could never imagine this happening to me with my siblings. And for anybody watching this, you know, if you're having arguments, small things that you didn't maybe get a chance to clear up, bad conversations that ended on a bad note, you might want to take this episode and think about: is it worth this being the last time you see your person? Because you never know when they're gonna call you home. Um, I want to thank y'all for traveling out here.
Thank
Come
you.
talk with me.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
All right. Again, this is Sharif Hankins with Just Conversations. Bonus episode. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Thank you. Have a good
Thank you.
day.